Hi everyone. So in this video, I'm going to be doing a deepening call for talk for what we talked about last time. So all of my titles, video titles, have the date at the end of it, so you can find it July 12, 2024. The title was something about like the brilliance of AA program. So this is going to be more precise about that, and just it's absolutely brilliant. And I've just had more insights into that. So there'll be some repetition because I want this video to be complete. You don't have to watch that video in order to understand this, and it's the repetition is going to be good for you anyways. But if you want to watch that, if you want to deepen the learning and understand that, and then the deeper learning of this, that's great too. But I'm going to cover everything. I mean, this video on its own is going to be complete. Okay. So the very first step in anything that you want to do, that's the AA program as well. The AA program is the Alcoholic Anonymous program to help people overcome alcohol addictions, which now has been modified to all kinds of addictions because it's such a versatile program, and you'll get to know why soon. So the very first step in anything that you want to learn, anything that you want to grow in, and the first step in AA is to admit that you don't know, or admit that you have a problem, right? Without admitting that you have a problem, without admitting that you don't know, there is no way that you're going to learn. Your mindset is, I know that. The three most dangerous words in the English language is, I know that, because that means that you're just completely closed off to learning anything new. So the way to learn anything is to have humility and accept, I don't know, or I have a problem. So in this case, let's say we admit that we have a problem. So what are the problems that I'm talking about here? Addictions. Specifically, all kinds of addictions to alcohol, drugs, love addictions where we're obsessing about somebody who's not wanting us, or the simpler things for everyone is food addictions or phone addictions, like picking up the phone 10,000 times a day thinking that it'll help somehow us feel better. Games addictions, video games or phone games or something, or TV shows, movies, YouTube videos, just reels, Facebook reels, oh my goodness, YouTube shorts. They're so addictive. They make it addictive on purpose. Like they've spent a lot of time researching how to make it addictive, and we just lap it up. And then sugar addiction, caffeine, like so many things that we could be addicted to. The question is, how do you tell whether you're addicted to something? The question is, in that moment, like if somebody says, you're taking away my freedom, you're not allowing me to eat like this donut or whatever that I want to eat. The question is so powerful, so powerful. The question is, do you really think you have the freedom? Do you have the freedom to walk away from that thing? If you can walk away without any problem, and alcoholics will many times say, yeah, I can quit at any time, then quit, prove it. Quit for a month and then come back. Like, do you have the freedom to walk away from that thing that you're addicted to? If you do have the freedom to walk away, then yes, you're not addicted. Otherwise, you are addicted. But some people will be like, but I just like the dopamine hit, or I just like the thing. You don't just like it. You're addicted. You cannot do without it. You cannot walk away. So the first step is to admit that you're addicted. Okay. The second step, how to heal it. It is not by accepting advice. So the AA thing, this is a repetition from the last video. The AA thing is not that you should not drive by a bar. You should not hang out with people who drink. If somebody offers you a drink, you should distract them or distract yourself or something. There's no practical advice like that. None. Absolutely nothing. So what is it that the AA program does? It helps you build your connection with God. because what we need, the reason, root cause for all of our addictions is because we are craving love. All human beings are craving love because that's what our soul is made of. And we have forgotten our relationship with God, where we're sourcing all of our love from. So the AA program helps us reconnect to God. It gives us prayers and steps and different steps, specific prayers, specific types of prayers, where we're continuously building our relationship with God. And along the way, we find things that we are doing, not the other person, not somebody else is doing to us, but what we are doing to create our lives, our honesty, selfishness, fears. And there are 4 things like that. Dishonesty. There are things within us that cause all of our emotional problems, right? Fears, or all of these things. All of these emotional triggers, the negative things, they're stemming from the fact that we don't feel that love from God. So when there is something that happens, like the fear, I mean, there's just constant fear that we're in. But okay, let's say anger, right? Or resentment. So if somebody else does something that is not respecting us, why do we feel bad? Why do we feel bad if, like, what is the big deal if somebody doesn't respect us? Why do we need to be respected? Because if we're not respected, that means that person is not considering us worthy. And if that person is not considering us worthy, they're saying basically, you are not worth my time, you are not worth my attention, you are not worth my care. And if that person is not considering me worthy, then I am suddenly feeling unworthy. But it's not up to the other person to say that you are not worthy, right? It doesn't matter what they think. I know that I'm worthy and I know that I'm loved. So why is it bothersome for me to not be worthy? It's because if I'm not worthy, then I'm not loved. So bottom line, root cause is that I'm not feeling loved. So when we build our relationship with God, then we're sourcing that love from God, because God loves us unconditionally and we can feel it. We'll be able to feel it. And along the way, we are during that way, we're figuring out what our responsibilities are for our lives. And every time we figure out our responsibility for our lives, then we are able to get stronger, because we're like, okay, you said something, I don't need to be resentful about it because it doesn't matter. And you are saying it because you are afraid also. So I can be compassionate and kind instead of feeling like, oh, you did such a horrible thing. You are a horrible person. That's the next step. But instead of that, we can be kind and compassionate. Okay, this person was feeling something, and this person lashed out or reacted or something, or said something in this way because of their own insecurities, and it has nothing to do with me, because my relationship is with God. And then we have this community where we reach out to each other frequently and we talk about ourselves. We talk about all of the problems that we're having and facing. We talk about the issues that we talk about our own side of the road, and we build these connections with people, and we're supposed to outreach every day, multiple times. So we're building this community with people. We're talking to people. We're connecting with people at the deepest levels of the heart, and we're not giving advice. We're supposed to not give advice. We listen to the person and we reflect. This is what I heard you say. That's it. And this is so brilliant, because then we feel seen, we feel heard, we feel validated in our emotions. And that's it. That's all we need. We need community. We need to build. Okay, so this AA program is one of them. The next thing that is also very, very good is that I learned last night. There was a program done where there was this experiment done on rats. So the rats were given either regular water or morphine water, and the rats preferred the morphine water. But then these rats were put in a community, like with other rats, and they were made to feel happy. They had whatever makes rats happy, like the hamster wheels, I'm thinking, but whatever makes them feel happy. They had good food, they had good community, they had whatever. And then they were given the choice of water, and they took regular water. They did not take morphine water. This is so brilliant. If rats can feel that, imagine just how much more complex human beings are, and how much freedom we will have if we feel emotionally secure. So this AA program and other communities, any community, okay. So that is the thing. So not giving advice to the person, because giving advice is very risky. Giving advice is good, it's necessary sometimes, right? You need to learn from other people, but then you have to be very careful about what is the advice that you're giving. Are you attached to that person accepting that advice? If you're not attached, then it's okay. So you give the advice to the person. First of all, you ask, are you open to advice or not? And if the person says yes, then you give the advice and you make it clear. Like, I will not be offended if you say, no, I really want to be completely certain that you're open to this. Only if they say yes, then you give the advice. And you don't feel bad about it, because that's what, it's not about you, it's about them. Are you loving the person, or are you doing it for your own validation? And then if the person says, yes, I want the advice, then you give the advice and then you back off completely. You don't be attached to whether the person takes it or not, because this is not about you. It's not about validating you. It's not about them validating that you are worthy, right? So yeah, that's the advice piece. And then there's one more piece. Yeah, so building a community. So how do you find this community, right? I would suggest you find a community where people are eager to give, right? So in my case, I have found this community through two things. One, the deepest, best community is this the AA program. So find an AA program which is good for you. You know, if you have a food addiction, you can find a food addiction program, or you can just find a regular. So you can find AA programs that are valid for you, and that is the best way, because you will find people who are very, very, very eager. They're passionate about healing, passionate about building this community, passionate about getting over things. And people are not going to spend time on something that is not important to them. So you find people who are interested in it, because most people are not interested. I've talked to people, you know, do you want to join this AA program? The AA program I'm a part of is not alcohol related. It is through Krishna consciousness. It's through so just basically addictions like food addictions, and so general addictions, overthinking addictions or obsessive addictions or whatever, obsessive thinking addictions. So it's a general catch-all kind of AA program. So yeah, if you're interested in joining something like that, feel free to reach out to me. I mean, in the comments, I can hook you up. But otherwise, I would suggest that you go to a place where giving is encouraged, because what is going to help you more than the receiving, although you do want to receive, of course, but more than the receiving is the giving, being there for someone else and giving freely without expecting things. So the churches and the temples are the best place. I would recommend, beyond the shadow of a doubt, I would recommend an ISKCON temple. Find an ISKCON temple near you, because there is a huge ton of opportunity to serve. That is the only place I've seen where there is a million different ways in which you can serve. You can cut vegetables, you can pluck flowers, you can sing, you can, and you don't have to be a great singer to sing. You can dance, you can, this is so many. You can cook, you can make garlands, you can do back altar service, you can set up, like there's so many events happening, you can set up the event site or tear down the event site, you can serve at the event site, you can serve at the temple, you can be at the welcome desk. There are a million different things. You can have a wash pots or wash stuff. You can do service where you're bringing stuff from grocery stores to the temple if they're giving away things. There's so many different things that you can do, so many. And you feel really good when you serve. You feel really good when you're a part of a community and you keep going there to that community. You get to know people over time, and you start to feel that you belong, and everybody there is clean. Like nobody has any addictions in terms of the big addictions, in terms of the alcohol or caffeine or whatever. Those are just not nobody has, but people have, not everybody has overcome it, but many people have overcome it, and they're totally focused on living a life in like in a sattvic way, in a mode of goodness way, in a good way, clean way as much as possible. So the mental addictions are still there, of course, and that's what this program is about. But at least you feel like you're in the community and you're given an opportunity to serve in a million different ways. So you feel good. You feel really good. I mean, I've seen tons of people go there because of the service. They do not necessarily believe in the Krishna consciousness part of it, but they go there anyways because they love to volunteer and serve. So and there are so many different opportunities and ways in which you can serve. You can take teach classes to kids. There's just so much. So yeah. um, so yeah, my encouragement to you, and there are many people also even there who feel a little bit isolated because they're not talking on a very deep emotional level there always. They're serving, and it's great. It's a step up, and it is a huge step up from not having a community. So I will definitely encourage that. And if you want to go to an even deeper level, I would suggest both, right? You do that so that you can do service, so you have a very specific clear service that you're doing, which you might find it might take you time to figure out what your service is, but that's there. And then the next step would be to reach out to join an AA thing so that you can have that emotional connection as well. So you have both aspects of it covered. Yeah, so that's it for this video. I hope this was helpful. Wish you a day filled with a lot of emotional connection through very deep community. Radhe Radhe.